Before this story began, no one believed, no one expected anything from the South Africa national football team. The draw was unforgiving. Strong teams, hostile stadiums, long away trips across Africa. This wasn't just qualification. This was survival, controversy, and a fight that refused to die. This is the journey of South Africa to the World Cup. Opening night. Packed stadium. South Africa started their journey against a very stubborn and physical Benin. Expectation heavy. They had to win. Because what came later would make this moment even more important. South Africa attacked. Fast. Direct. 2 goals. 2-1. A winning start. But beneath the celebration, there were cracks, and those cracks would be exposed brutally. Butare, a city that doesn't welcome visitors. A stadium that suffocates you. The trip alone felt heavy. From the airport to the tunnel, pressure followed them. And on the pitch, it got worse. No vuvuzelas, no comfort, just an away battle in Africa. Rwanda was too strong. Bafana Bafana were second to every ball. Outfought, outplayed. 2 goals to nothing. No excuses. The critics were celebrating as if it was Christmas Day. They wanted coach Hugo Broos to be sacked immediately. His assistant coach, Helman Mkelele, was heavily criticized too. They said he is nothing but a yes man. And just when doubt started growing, they were about to face a giant. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, the biggest rivalry in African football. Everyone expected South Africa to lose. They didn't. They fought bicep for bicep with Nigeria. They resisted. They believed. 1-1. A result that changed perception. But belief alone wasn't enough for what was coming. They came home angry. And Zimbabwe, I felt it. 3 goals. Dominance. Control. 3-1. But just as things started to look stable, everything collapsed off the pitch. It looked perfect. A 3-0 win against the Crocodiles of Lesotho. Professional. But what happened later had nothing to do with football. Off the pitch, a ruling. Teboho Mokoena was not supposed to play. Ineligible. Points deduction. A decision that shook everything. Fans were furious. The critics' gang were ruthless. They've thrown it away, they said. Fans were confused. Players frustrated. And Hugo Broos, furious. They're not just fighting teams anymore. They're fighting the system. Now this was a test of character. And now, they had to respond. They had to do it away from home against Benin. This was a crucial encounter, because playing away in Africa is a disaster. From witchcraft, harsh treatment, poor accommodation, and even food poisoning allegations. That is African football for you. South Africa were ready for all those obstacles. No panic, no excuses. Away from home. They delivered. 2-0. Controlled, professional. This team wasn't breaking. And what happened next? was time for revenge against Lesotho, the very same team that led to the points deduction disaster. There was a lot of tension leading to that game. South Africa were brutal in attack. Another statement. Another clean performance. 3 goals to nothing. No controversy this time. Just football. And now, the table was very tight. This game changed everything. South Africa battled. They matched Nigeria again, 1-1. But that wasn't the story. A goal. Controversial. A hand. Missed by the referee. Fury. Frustration. And once again, the system felt against them. But what came next is where the story gets more interesting. This was war. Zimbabwe were already out. But that didn't matter. They had one mission. Destroy South Africa's dream. Every tackle. Late. Hard. South Africa couldn't breathe. Couldn't break the deadlock. Frustration grew. And then, red card. Bekezeli Mbokazi sent off. 10 men. With everything on the line, they held on. 0-0, but it felt like everything was falling apart. And with one game remaining, Benin and Nigeria were now favorites to win the group. Once again, South Africa were written off. The less I say about the media and critics, the better, because they were on Christmas as usual. Final match. Everything on the line. But this wasn't just about qualification. It was about revenge. Rwanda, the team that beat them 2-0. And this time, South Africa were different. Focused. Sharp. Relentless. 3-0. Complete domination. It was men against boys. But even then, it wasn't over. Because far away, the Super Eagles were playing. It was dramatic. Phones and calculators came out. Players watching, fans waiting. Silence. Then, confirmation. They were doubted. They were punished. They were tested again and again. But they didn't fall, survived everything. And now, Bafana Bafana are going to the World Cup, not because it was easy, but because they refused to be denied.